Best backyard pond plant varieties. There are 5 categories of pond plants. While some are more likely to do well in larger ponds, all can be used in ponds of any size. Mix and match these categories to create a varied, interesting pond ecosystem. Purple pitcher plant, Sarracenia purpurea, is an example of a bog plant and is one of the best pond plants you can grow in a water feature. You can install such bog plants in the same way that you would install any other plant, since they can be grown in the ground surrounding the pond, as long as the soil is kept moist. But in very shallow ponds, you can also grow pitcher plant in a pot and place the pot in the water. The beauty of the pitcher plant is that it offers both interesting foliage and fantastic flowers. Homeowners fortunate enough to have large ponds can establish permanent plantings in their water features. You will not, however, be able to overwinter water plants in cold climates in really small ponds. You may have to accept losing your deep water, submerged, and floating plants unless you have the space to grow them indoors during the winter. Plan on buying new ones next year. Try transplanting marginal plants to the wettest spots on your property. If you have a wet winter, they may survive. But bog plants can be left in place, as you would any other perennial. Water lily, Nuphar and Nymphaea spp, is an example of a deep water plant. The lotus flower, Nelumba spp, is similar to the water lily but is a bigger plant, making it better suited to large ponds. The delightful lily pads that come with water lilies will be as important to your display as the flowers. Corkscrew Rush, Juncus effusus, is another example of a bog plant. Its twisting stems say, "Bad hair day," like few other plants can, but this is one messy hairdo that you'll enjoy viewing. Its corkscrew-like plant form provides a pond with so much visual interest that you won't mind it's not offering showy flowers. Horsetail Rush, Equisetum hyemale, is a bog plant that grows in masses, multiplying itself by means of aggressive rhizomes. This rush is of a different genus than Corkscrew Rush, Juncus effusus. But that's not the only way in which the two plants differ. Horsetail Rush's stems are just as perfectly straight as Corkscrew Rush's stems are wonderfully crooked. Due to its aggressive nature, don't grow this rush in the ground if you have only a small space in which to garden. Instead, grow it in pots. Rodgers Flower, Rodgersia spp, is a bog plant that offers pretty flowers, as well as foliage, like pitcher plant, and unlike the rushes. If your pond is situated against a house wall, providing a more suitable backdrop may increase your viewing pleasure of the water garden. For example, try planting Rodgers Flower at the back of the pond. Rodgers Flower is a good-sized perennial valued for its attractive, big, abundant leaves. Such a bog plant makes for a background that is far superior to a house wall, in most cases. Northern blue flag, Iris versicolor, is an example of a marginal plant. To install marginal plants in a pond, you'll have to adjust the depths at which their pots stand in the water so that you don't drown them. In large ponds, shelves are built right into the pond to house marginals. But you can easily accomplish the same thing in a small pond by resting the potted plants on bricks. Another marginal plant, Ogon golden sweet flag, Acorus gramineus ogon, is a grass-like plant with variegated leaves. Also grass-like and variegated is the sparkplug cultivar of Japanese sedge, Carex phylocephala sparkplug, which could function as a bog plant. Such plants are often used as if they were ornamental grasses that are tolerant of wet soils. But they are not true grasses, the latter belonging to the Poaceae family. Also note that, while this plant shares flag in its common name with Iris versicolor, it belongs to a different genus. Some specimens straddle the line between the marginal and bog categories. Certain bog plants can stand in a bit of water, marginal plants often don't need to stand in water at all. One example is the papyrus plant, Cyperus papyrus, a marginal. Marsh marigolds, Caltha palustris, bloom in mid-spring. They work wonderfully as marginal plants for water gardens in May. They are North American native perennials for sunny areas. They are not true marigolds, Tagetes spp. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.